going to begin today. So let's start with standing mountain. Feet are hip distance apart. Shoulders are rolled back. You're breathing deeply into the three parts of your lungs. So you're filling up the lower belly part, then the rib cage in the middle, then the chest on the top. And then exhale all three of them. Again. Visualizing your lungs filling up in those three parts. Continuing your breath with your eyes shut. Catch yourself each time you want something to be other than it is. This is the cause of suffering, and each time you catch it, you save yourself from it. Taking a moment before we begin to set our intention for this next hour. What is your intention? An intention is your action step. What are you going to do in the next hour? It is not the goal or the result. It is actually what you are going to do, your action. Take anything else that's flying around inside your head and set it on the side of your mat and focus just on this moment. And then open your eyes, and we'll start by putting our feet next to each other. Left hand down, right arm up. We'll come over the top for lateral flexion. Keeping some space between your ear and your shoulder. Lengthening your spine. And then switch. Right arm down, left arm up. Pressing down with the one arm just as much as you're stretching up with the other arm. Good. And then we'll come into a chest expansion. So clasp your hands behind your back. Press down if you're able. If you're not able to clasp your hands behind your back, just pretend you have a beach ball there and press. And releasing your hands, we're going to take the right leg and flex the toes, plant the heel on the floor in front of you, bend this left leg, and then come down over your legs and get a nice stretch in the back of your right leg. I'll show you what that looks like from the side. Then we'll switch. Left leg comes out, flex the toes, plant the heel, bend the right leg and come on down. Good. Come on back up. Next, we're going to ground the right foot. Get it nice and stable. Engage your core muscles here. Lift the left, bend the knee, and clasp your hands around your leg. And hold right here. If it feels good, go ahead and open that hip little wobbly today. And then bring it back to center. Give it one more hug and bring it down. Good. Now we'll do the other leg. So ground that left foot, bring the right one up, hug the knee. Open up if it feels good. You don't have to press it all the way open, just till you feel a nice stretch. Then come back to center. Give your knee one more hug and bring it down. Excellent. All right, we're going to move to the floor. So come sit down. Bring the soles of your feet together for a butterfly pose. And you can pull those in close to you or keep them a little bit further out. Whichever is most comfortable for you is fine. So we'll start with our spine straight. Press your elbows into your legs if that feels good. And then keeping the spine straight, just hinge forward till you feel a nice stretch. And rounding the back, bringing the head towards the feet. And come on up. Now we're going to do cat and cow with butterfly feet. If your legs or hips are uncomfortable, you can switch to easy pose for right now, okay? And we can do cat and cow in easy pose, that's fine. If you're okay, then keep those feet in butterfly. And we're going to round the back. And then lift the chest. We exhale when we round the back. And we inhale when we lift. Continuing with your own breath. One more each way. Good, and now we're going to place our hands on our ankles. We're going to rotate in big circles. We're going to be doing some hip work today if you haven't figured that out yet. One more this way and then we'll switch directions. Great. All right, and then give your knees a little hug. And come on up. And we're going to prepare for our sun salutations. So, Here we go. We will do 2 modified for each side and then 4 or 5 full ones. We'll see how we feel, okay? So feet are hip distance apart. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding, hinging from the hips. Stepping back with your right leg onto your knee. Bringing your arms up. Hands come down. Left leg comes around, sinking back into child's pose. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly and lifting the chest, and then pressing back. Bringing that right leg forward. Hands come down, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and come into chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right. Bringing the hands to the mat, left leg comes around, sinking back, pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly and lifting the chest, and then pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Switching sides, still modified, folding forward. Left leg comes back. I like to do the modified first for a couple of reasons. Sinking back to child's pose, pulling forward for plank. For one reason, it really makes sure our body is warmed up and ready. Pressing back. Left leg comes forward. For the other reason, anybody new joining us can learn the modifications that they might need for their body. Reversing the swan dive and chair. Sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left. But it is a really good warm up anyway. Right leg comes around, pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, lifting the chest and then pressing back. Left leg comes forward, and when we move into full postures, you can always take one or more of these modifications and incorporate it into your flow. Honoring your body and listening to where you are today. Folding forward, stepping back with the right into a high lunge, if that feels good. Hands come down, left leg comes back for downward dog. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, right leg comes back. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Pulling forward for plank, crocodile, upward dog, and downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, right leg comes back. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Again, sweeping up, Folding, right leg comes back. Hands come to the mat. Left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. We'll do one more on this side. Sweeping up. Folding. Right leg comes back. Hands to the mat. Left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the feet for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Switching sides. Folding forward. Stepping back with the left. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Pulling forward for plank. Crocodile. Upward dog. And downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping up. Folding. Left leg comes back. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. Downward dog. Pulling forward for plank. Crocodile. Upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping up. Folding. Left leg comes back. Right leg comes back. Downward dog. Floating forward. Lowering. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Right leg comes forward. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping up. Folding. Left leg comes back. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. Downward dog. Pulling forward plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping your toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come down. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping up. Folding. Left leg comes back. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. Floating forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. One more time. Sweeping up. Folding. Stepping back with the left. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together. Reverse the swan dive and chair. Awesome. Get some water. I forgot my water, so I'm going to get somebody to get it for me. Okay. Hopefully someone will bring me water in just a minute. Okay, so next we're going to go into a downward dog. So let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding. Planting your hands on the floor, stepping back into a nice downward dog. Pressing your hips up, bringing your ears between your shoulders, pedaling out your feet here. Taking nice deep breaths. Raising your right leg behind you. And swinging that leg through, dropping the knee. Thank you. You're in a low lunge, but keep your hands down here. And maybe move that front leg out a little bit further than you normally would, because we're going to rock back and then rock forward. Really stretching out those hip flexors and the muscles in the back of the front leg. Rock back, rock forward. Continuing this with your own breath. Let's do it one more time. And then flip the toes on the back foot and get situated for a high lunge. We're going to bring the arms up. Engage those core muscles. You're going to need them here. Take a few breaths right here. And then make little fists, not real tight, with your hands. And bring your elbows down in front of you. Bend over that front leg. And then come back up. If you need to touch the floor on your way down, that's fine. If you can do it without, that's great too. Again, pulling down over your thigh. And then lifting your hands up to the side and lifting your chest. Again, pulling down and lifting. One more time. Pulling down and lifting. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Bring that right leg back. We're in downward dog. Hang out right here or flow through a half series with me. Plank, crocodile, upward dog, downward dog. Take a few breaths right here. And then raise that left leg up. Swing it through. Drop the right knee. Get that left leg a little further forward than normal. You don't want your knee to go over your toes when you're rocking back and forth. Keeping your hands down, press forward, and then rock back. Press forward, and rock back. One more each way. Good. And then flip the toes on the back leg. Get your feet nice and situated for a high lunge. Come on up for a high lunge. Engage those core muscles. Take a few breaths right here. And then pull down over that front leg and lift. Pull down and lift. Pull down and lift. One more. Pull down and lift. Bring those hands down to the mat. Left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. You can stay here. You can drop to child's pose, or you can flow through a half series with me. Plank, crocodile, upward dog, and downward dog. And then step or jump your feet to your hands. Reverse your swan dive and take some water. My water got delivered, so I'm going to have a sip. All right. Next, we're going to do a variation on the warrior series. So listen and watch as we go along. We're going to start with warrior one. So we'll step the left foot back. Drop that heel if it's comfortable. If it's not, lift it and do a high lunge with your legs, okay? Not a problem. Don't want anyone hurting. Front leg is bent. Shoulder blades are back and down. Arms are up. Core is engaged. Breathing deeply, maybe counting your breath so that you're just focusing on this right now. Opening up to warrior two, pivoting that back foot, keeping that front leg bent. Looking over the right fingers. Core is engaged. And again, maybe counting breaths. Taking your hands, clasping them behind your back for a chest opener while you're still in warrior two. And if it feels good, hinging forward from the hips. Unclasping the hands, placing your hands on the mat in front of you, pivoting your right foot, and then coming into a goddess squat with prayer hands. Placing your hands above your knees, we're going to do a little twist to the right, looking over that shoulder, and then a little twist to the left, looking over that shoulder, and coming back to center, placing your hands on the floor, straightening your legs, coming into a wide leg forward fold, and if it feels good, grab your ankles or your legs and let your head hang. Keeping your knees soft even though they're straight. Then placing your hands in the center, slowly rolling up. Bringing your legs in, giving them a little shake or bend. Take a minute and we're going to do the second side. All right. Side two. So we'll start with warrior one. Bringing the right leg back, planting the heel, or staying with your heel up in a lunge position. Arms come up. Shoulders are back and down. Core is engaged. And we're breathing. And opening up to warrior two. Looking over those fingers on the left side. Core is engaged. Always the option for prayer hands or hands on the hips if your shoulders are finding it difficult to hold your arms up. That's okay. Clasping your hands behind your back, and if it feels good, hinging forward, just till you feel a nice stretch. Unclasping your hands, bringing them to the center, pivoting your feet just a little bit, and then lifting yourself up into goddess squat. Placing your hands on the inside of your legs, twisting to the right, and then coming back to center, twisting to the left. Coming back to center, placing your hands on the floor, straightening your legs, but keeping soft knees, letting your head fall, and then maybe grabbing your ankles or your legs. And placing your hands on the floor, slowly rolling up. Bringing your legs together, giving them a little shake. You did it. Good job. Grab a sip of water and we'll do some balance poses. All right. So I think today we'll start with tree. Spreading those toes on the right foot, getting nice and grounded, engaging the core muscles, the quads, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Left foot, heel comes above ankle. Hands are in prayer. If it feels good, slide that foot up to your calf. Don't go on your knee joint, just to your calf. And then, if you want a little bit more, grab the ankle, press the foot into the thigh, and the thigh into the foot. And then open your arms. I'm a little wobbly today. Okay, maybe today I honor my body and I stay on my calf. Open your arms. And breathe. And relax. All right, and we'll try the other side. Sometimes, like, as you can see with me, that's a pose I do almost every day, and I rarely have trouble with it, but today, it's just not happening. And that's okay. I'm not going to be mad at myself. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm honoring my body. That's where I am today. My legs are a little shaky. I did a lot of leg workout this weekend, so it's not there today. That's okay. All right, so my left foot gets nice and grounded. You definitely should just respect where you are and be thankful for what you are doing. Right heel above your ankle. And then slide it up to the calf if that feels good. And I'll try on this side and see how it goes, but I don't know. You never know. And if you want, grab that ankle, press the foot into the thigh into the foot. And bring the hands up if it feels good. And relax. So see, I was able to do it on that side, not the first side. That's okay. The important thing when you're doing yoga and exercising your body is that you do it without judgment and you honor where you are without judgment of yourself or of others. You know, if you're working out with your friend or someone in your family and all of a sudden one day they can't do something they normally can do, don't judge. Honor and respect where they are as well as where you are, because it takes a lot to say, I don't have it today. That's okay. So that's where we are. All right, one more balance pose, and this one is similar to what we just did in our flow. So we're going to open up into a goddess. Come on down into a goddess squat. And then if you can, come up on the toes. Hands can be in prayer, or you can put them right here. And relax. Awesome. All right, we're going to come down to the mat. Coming onto the belly. We're going to come into locust with arms back, or Superman with arms forward. Your choice, whichever one feels better for you. Take a nice cleansing breath to prepare. And then lift the head, chest, and the arms, and then lift the feet. And relax. Press back into child's pose. And then come on up onto your knees. Come all the way up. Your knees are hip distance apart. So there's a little space there. Knees right under hips. Feet are straight back. We're going to support our lower back with our hands like this. We're just going to lean back. This is modified camel. You can stay right here, or if it feels good, reach back and grab your heels, making sure to not hyperextend your neck. You should still be able to breathe and talk. So go ahead and say hi to me now, making sure. And then placing those hands again on the lower back to support yourself back up. And then coming right into child's pose to counter that little back bend. Maybe a wide leg child's pose here. Get a little bit deeper for your back. And then coming up, shifting to one side and bringing your legs out in front of you. If you have a strap, go ahead and grab it. We're going to come into a seated forward fold. If you don't have a strap, that's okay. And you can use anything for a strap. A belt, canvas belt is the most comfortable, but a leather belt will work too. A bathrobe strap, anything at all you can use for a strap. So place the strap behind your feet. And slowly walk your hands down the strap and come into a forward fold. Just like the balance pose of tree, where I couldn't balance on that one side. Stretching in forward fold, sometimes you can feel like you can stretch so far down, and other days you're just a little bit more tight and you can't get quite that far down, and that's okay. Our bodies are different every single day. Just knowing that we're honoring our bodies and respecting them and doing good for them every day by exercising and eating well, that's the most important thing. Not how far down we can stretch or how long we can balance, just that we're taking care of our bodies. And release. We're going to lie down. If you have your strap, keep it in your hand. Taking that strap and bringing your left foot up, putting your foot in the strap, extending your right leg out if that feels good. If that doesn't feel good on your back, then go ahead and bend that leg and prop it up, and that'll relieve a little bit of pressure on your back. But if you can extend it out, go ahead. Just holding your strap and your leg straight up right now for a few breaths. Getting a nice stretch in the back of your leg. And if this feels good and you want to do this very controlled, you don't want to let your leg just fall out to the side. If it feels good, slowly open the hip. With controlled motion here. So your your leg isn't just falling out. Supporting that leg with your strap and your hand. And then bend that leg a little bit. Bring it back in. Come back up to straight. We're going to do a spinal twist with the strap. So you want to extend your left arm out to the side. And we're going to cross this right foot across our body, but not directly across. We're going to go add a little bit of an angle down. So bringing that leg across and down, and then looking over the left shoulder. Again, that right hand holding the strap is supporting that leg. And then coming back to center and taking your foot out of the strap. And we're going to switch sides. So placing your right foot in the strap. Left leg extends out if it feels good. And then slowly and controlled, letting that right leg come out. Making sure it doesn't just fall. And bending that leg, bringing it back to center, coming back up to the top. Left hand takes a hold of the strap. Right arm comes out. Come across your body and down. Left hand is supporting that strap and that leg. You're looking over your right shoulder now. And then bringing your leg back to center. Taking the strap off, giving both your knees a hug. Extending the legs out for Shavasana. Or maybe you want to do wide legs with your knees in towards each other. Maybe you want to put your legs up the wall. Whatever is comfortable for you, get comfortable. Closing your eyes. Notice the silence between sounds and the space between thoughts. Feeling the energy move through your body with every inhale. Feeling any stress or tension exit your body with every exhale. When you feel conflict with others, understanding their suffering is the first step in being able to communicate, forgive, and begin again. Opening your eyes, supporting yourself into a seated position. We'll inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's always a pleasure to start my weekend with yoga and with all of you. I have a little challenge for you this weekend. See how many sounds you can notice. Wherever you are, inside, outside, just start paying attention to the little sounds that sometimes get lost in our regular movements of the day. Just stop maybe once every hour for a minute and notice the sounds that are around you. And if you feel compelled, message me and tell me some of the sounds you notice that maybe have always been there and you just never paid attention. I would love to hear about it. And that's just a little mindfulness activity to help us calm down and slow down our system so that we can stay in a calm and relaxed state throughout our day. So try it. Let me know how it goes, and I will see you soon. Have a great day. Thanks.